And it says we are live.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Let me also see कि हम लोग live है कि नहीं. Just give me a minute. It takes a while to reflect.
Yeah, it shows that you're live.
Okay. Excellent. Very good. And oh, very good. Yes, we are live.
Awesome.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. And it's good to be back on the live talk. I believe I'm back after 3-4 months. Hmm. So, so अब तक लोगों ने so you know Sunil, I'll obviously be introducing you, but before we get into that, I'll just talk about what this talk is going to be all about, and then a brief introduction about you, and उसके बाद you are the boss. All right. So for all those who may join us later, or all those who may be watching us now, you know that all my live talks have been a mixed bags, of ask me anything, interviews, and generic gyan on emotional wellness, on mental wellness, right? So I felt that starting this month, I need to start focusing on featuring people who've perhaps understood the meaning of life, understood the meaning of purpose, and have created a place for themselves in this society, in this world. Yeah. These are the people who've stopped making excuses and they have taken complete charge of their situation to create a life they wish to live. So, my first guest today is someone I've known for quite some time. He's also a dear friend. He's a gem of a person and someone who will not shy away from giving you honest feedback. Believe me when I say this. Yeah. So people address him as a cybersecurity guru, sales guru, or even a startup engine, as he advises startups on scaling up their operations. But our man, as you can see, the t-shirt that he's wearing, he loves to address himself as Faqeera. Why, you ask? Well, it's best to hear it from the horse's mouth during our conversation today. Yeah, so I'm talking about Sunil Sapra. Obviously, you can read the name. He's a man with a mission to help startups scale up globally. He has successfully assisted 25 plus startups scale their business. And apart from cybersecurity, IT consulting, scaling up businesses, our man here is also passionate about leadership development and feeding the needy. But in his own words, poetry is what defines him as a person. Yes, our man is also a poet. And we'll definitely get him to share his alfaz or shairi with us today. All right, so join me in welcoming Sunil for our live talk. So over to you, Sunil, before I start my questions for the evening.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you so much for a lovely introduction.
My pleasure.
Like you said, my mission. I have two missions. One is a professional mission. One is a personal mission. The professional
Right.
mission is to help the startups, and the personal mission is to build a kitchen where every needy, not really a needy, but a fine dine environment, not really a kitchen, a fine dine
Correct.
environment where
Correct.
where the migrant workers like rickshawalas and the construction workers can come with
Correct.
their family,
Correct.
enjoy food for 10 rupees in a fine dining environment. That's the personal mission. So I have two missions
Oh, nice.
on which I'm working hard to earn enough so that I can
Absolutely.
take
Absolutely.
care of my grest dharma
Yes.
responsibilities,
Yes.
as well as follow my personal mission. And I define myself as Fakira at soul, poet by heart, author by
Hmm.
chance. I ended up publishing a book, and entrepreneur by karma.
Oh,
So
excellent.
this is how I define myself, and I think this is a complete definition for me as a
Absolutely.
person. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's definitely going to be fun, interacting with you and getting to know the secret behind the life that you've been living. Right, an entrepreneur, an author, a poet,
Faqeera.
what is it? Faqeera. Faqeera is someone obviously we would want to know. But when I first heard that word, right, Faqeera is someone who is there to guide people, right, and that's what you're doing. You're a lighthouse, right? Lighthouse for not just for the needy, but even for all those who've just started off uh, with their entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. I would say Fakira is not a person who's there to guide him, others. I think Fakira is a person who's here in search of himself.
Oh, nice, 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 nice.
Probably I'm that Fakira.
Oh, oh, nice, nice. All right, so we'll definitely get you to talk more about Faqeera. Where did you get this name? How did you come up
Yeah,
with?
yeah,
But before that, the topic for today's conversation is living fearlessly. So
yeah.
so let's start with a basic question on life. So many people may have asked you this, but how would you describe life and why?
Okay, so I'll give a very quirky answer. Probably people will laugh at it, but I think life is a fitur.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll shuttle between English and
Yeah,
Hindi
yeah,
if
yeah,
that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Absolutely, perfectly fine.
So I think life is a fitur. If there's no fitur in life, what do you wake up for every morning, right? And
Right.
fitur could be a purpose, fitur could be a love, fitur could be a fear, fitur could be uh, a mission, fitur could be a hobby. But
Oh, okay.
unless and until, unless and until there's one single thing which is really driving you in your life, uh, uh, what do you wake up for every morning? Roti kamane ke liye,
Absolutely.
वो तो
Absolutely.
जानवर भी करते हैं, right? So
Right.
we know that there are four things common between humans and animals,
Right.
which are reproduction, food, eating, fear, sleeping. The only thing that differentiates a human being from a animal is the gyan, right? The
Correct.
knowledge,
Correct.
wisdom, right?
Correct. Correct.
So, and the knowledge could be anything, right? It need not be the spiritual knowledge or something. It could be any
Absolutely.
knowledge, right? So
Absolutely.
so my thinking is, and that quest for knowledge is at fitur, right? Somebody
Right.
has a fitur of
Absolutely.
making money, somebody has a fitur of building a big company, somebody has a fitur of running marathons, somebody has a fitur of writing poetry, so you have a fitur of making this world a better place through your talks
Right.
and through your
Right.
so there
Right.
has to be fitur that has to drive you. So I would call myself a fituri fakira, right? So life is
Absolutely.
a fitur. That's what I would
Right.
love to.
Right. Right. I loved it. I loved it. Now, for all all those who perhaps aren't well versed with the Urdu terminologies. So, what exactly is fitur?
Good question. I don't know the English or Hindi. Hindi
नहीं
पता है.
हिंदी भी चलेगा.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
don't know, but fitur is I think an obsession or a passion, or fitur
Ah,
is वो दिमाग का वो जिसे बोलते हैं ना पेच ढीला होना, something like that. It's
oh,
I
nice,
probably
nice.
I mean it's a mission, it's a passion, it's something that
Passion.
consumes you completely.
Right,
It
right.
it that,
Correct.
that that you're completely consumed by it. I have a theory that I am the center of this universe. I believe
Correct.
that this whole universe exists for me. I don't exist for the universe. You know why?
Wow.
The day I close my eyes, the universe is over for me, right?
Absolutely.
So universe may keep existing, but I close my eyes, the universe is over. So this is my
Correct. Correct.
future. This is my future,
Absolutely.
that the whole universe revolves around me. So,
Oh, very
so
good.
I better do a good job at it, right? So,
Right, 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 right. No, I think I completely agree. Right, because I keep telling through my talks, through my posts, that the universe is within you. So if you're saying that,
beautiful, yeah,
when you close your eyes, obviously the universe around you just ends.
vanishes,
Right?
yeah,
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 vanishes.
yeah.
Excellent. Right. Now the second question. Let's come to the main topic, which is
Okay.
living fearlessly. So, what does living fearlessly mean to you, and how can people benefit from living fearlessly?
Akshay, you know, in my free time, I like to think what is it that is driving this world. Okay,
Right.
so people say love drives this world. Somebody says, you know, emotion drives this world, whatever, right? So I like to believe that that the emotion that drives this world is fear.
Ah,
अगर मुझे भूखे रहने का डर ही नहीं है, तो why will I go get up and work? If I don't have a fear of losing my family, why will I like to build a house and keep them safe? If I don't
correct.
have a fear that tomorrow I may go bankrupt, why will I work, right? So I have a feeling that every emotion somewhere is connected to fear. So if you love somebody, it's because of the fear that you will lose them, right?
Mm,
If you want to spend more time with your parents, you know that they're getting older, and then there's a fear
correct.
that you lose them. So
Right.
somewhere I
Right.
have a feeling that fear is an underlying emotion, which probably is part of every emotion somewhere or the other. There's a little bit of fear in every emotion. This is what I
Correct.
like to do, right?
Correct. Correct. Absolutely.
So, and my thinking is the day fear stops, the world stops.
Mm,
The fearless people, they were only very few fearless people.
correct.
Buddha and Krishna
Correct.
and
Correct.
those and those people are at a different
Yeah.
level, right? Those are the
Absolutely.
people who lived fearlessly,
Correct.
and for them the word came to us standstill,
Mm,
right? It didn't
mm,
matter. But for most of us, I believe if the fear stops, the world will stop. That's one.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
Second is I feel fears are two kinds. A, something which is real, and something which is imaginary.
Mm,
Because इंसान का दिमाग ना सोता तो है नहीं.
correct.
God has given a mind.
Right.
Mind says that I want to work extra overtime,
Right.
right?
Right.
It keeps
Right.
generating fears and imaginary fears and keeps feeding them, right? So
Right.
I believe
Right.
that there are two kind of fears. One is a real fear. One is an imaginary fear. And real fear is like, okay, what if something happens to me? सबसे बड़ा डर तो शायद दुनिया में मौत का है, अपनी मौत का और अपने प्रियजनों को lose करने का,
Absolutely.
right? Which is a
Absolutely.
real fear.
Right.
And the funny thing is, uh, मौत fear भी है और सच भी है, right? So it's a truth
Absolutely.
that nobody can deny. And
Correct.
because nobody
Correct.
can deny this truth, there is a fear always, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think that is something which is probably a real fear. Then there are a lot of imaginary fears. Tomorrow, what if something happens to me? What will happen to my family? I'm getting fat. I'm eating so much. What will happen to my health? Stuff like that. Real fears and
Correct.
imaginary.
Correct.
So I have a feeling that up fearless living का ये मतलब नहीं है that you fight your fears.
Right.
Lot of people say
Right.
डर के आगे जीत है, डर से लड़ो,
Correct. Correct.
डर को कंट्रोल करो, डर को जीतो.
Right. Correct.
I, I have a feeling that the more you fight something, that something becomes stronger. Okay,
Correct.
so you
Absolutely.
don't have to fight the fear. You have to go little above the fear
Yeah.
and master it and manage
Correct.
it.
Correct.
And जैसे एक नदी होती है, a river is flowing, and there is a rock
Hmm.
on the way. So I consider our life as a river, and that fear
Correct.
as rock. So if
Right.
I keep banging against the rock, my flow will stop.
Right.
I cannot stop the flow of my life. तो मुझे उसके लिए
Hmm.
क्या करना पड़ेगा? What does the river do? It will go on the right side of the rock, left side of the rock, on top of the rock, below the rock. It will find its
Correct.
way. It will keep
Right.
flowing, right?
Correct.
वो
Correct.
रुक के वो तालाब बन जाएगा, और तालाब बन गया तो पानी सड़ जाता है, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I feel that we have to continue with the flow of life, keep
Right.
flowing. You have a fear, find a way around it. You don't have to fight
Right.
it. You don't have
Correct.
to fight it. You just go
Correct.
above it, below it, and
Right.
and slowly and steadily. The more and more you keep flowing with your flow, the rock will keep getting smaller and smaller, and
Smaller
one
and
point
smaller.
the rock will just vanish, right?
Correct.
So this is what
Absolutely.
I feel is fearless living. And quickly, two more things I want to add.
Sure. Sure.
I
Sure.
so how do you control? No, control is wrong the word. How do you manage your fear? Two things.
Hmm.
I feel जो imaginary fear है, उसका एक ही तरीका है उसको मैनेज करने का. That is कर्म, action.
Hmm. Correct.
So what will happen to my family if I'm gone? Will
Hmm.
they be able to continue to live the kind of life I want them to live? उसका
Right.
क्या तरीका है? Have I insured myself enough? Have I
Right.
saved my enough? Have I created assets?
Right.
So
Right.
it's a real fear, right?
Right. Right.
Death is a real fear, but because of the death, whatever may happen to family is an imaginary fear. The only way you can fight that fear, or you can manage, again, sorry, I'm saying fight
Yeah.
is a
Perfectly fine.
wrong
Embrace. Let's call it embrace your fears. Yeah.
Embrace your fear, and the only way I can manage that fear is by doing karma, by doing action. वो तो
Options.
the biggest magician on this world कान्हा जी बोल के ही गए हैं.
Correct. Correct.
Second is the real fear, which is, like we discussed, real fear. I feel the only way to manage or meet that real fear in the eye is belief.
Belief. Yes. Absolutely.
The more you believe in yourself, the more you believe in I like to believe in God,
No.
and
No.
I like
Absolutely.
to believe in
Absolutely.
my Baba. The more you believe in somebody, a higher being, they help you sort of
Absolutely.
kind of meet the fear and manage it. So there's a very nice thought which says, do the thing you fear and the fear will disappear. So
Wow.
तो वो
Nice.
करते
I love
रहिए वो
this.
चीजें जो जिन
Yes.
चीजों से आपको डर लगता है.
Oh, very nice. And I love the analogy of the rock and the river,
Yeah,
right? And that's what it is, right? Because even my understanding of fear is it's a river, right? And on
yeah,
the other side of the river, there's faith. So you need to cross that river, and for you to cross
yeah,
that river, you need to accept that you're going to be, going with that flow. So,
absolutely.
right, right,
Well, I always believe life का flow रुकना नहीं चाहिए. Never stop the flow of
absolutely,
life. Because the moment you
absolutely,
stop the flow of life, it starts
correct,
stagnating. It starts
correct.
shrinking. That's
Correct,
great.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
And so what steps have you taken, right, to start leading a fearless life? Because fear तो सबके पास होता है, तो उस fear को आप कैसे आगे लेके गए? Maybe perhaps उसमें से हमको भी कुछ सीखने मिले.
Uh, Actually, I think okay. I won't say that I've been able to really manage my fear. I mean, I'll be honest. 2-3 दिन पहले ही I was gripped with a fear. Right, something
Right,
happened
right,
that really gripped me with a lot of fear,
right.
and it really disturbed me. I was really disturbed. थोड़ी देर के लिए लगा कि when the fear grips you, you feel the world has stopped. Right.
Correct, right,
But
right,
then you take a step back, then you connect with your belief system, and then you think, okay, is it a real fear or an imaginary? If it is an imaginary fear, how can I take action? And then you take an action in that. तो मेरा ये मानना है कि I have been through situations which were life gut wrenching situations.
right,
They
right.
break your heart, and sometimes
Correct,
they hurt your soul. इतने तक अंदर चले जाते हैं. I lost my parents within a year of each other,
right.
right? And both of them during my mom's when she went away, I couldn't even visit her because of the COVID situation,
Correct,
right?
correct, correct,
So
correct.
तो ये सब होते हैं. And when I was moving to Singapore about 9 years back, I was, because my parents were already a bit old at that time, and I was thinking, I always had a fear कि पता नहीं उनको मैं am I looking at them for the last time. Whenever you take a flight, right, you
Right.
always have fear कि कहीं ऐसा. So fears keep happening, right? And then when you are a businessman like I am, you are always running to make to keep your business running positive, cash positive, so that you're able to meet the expenses. So
Correct,
daily, on a
absolutely,
daily basis, what if this
absolutely.
deal doesn't come? Those fears. So I think over a period of time you start realizing that life में important क्या है और good to have क्या और must have क्या है.
Correct.
So I have a feeling, there's a saying, if you have food on your table, roof on your head, and a family and loved ones to enjoy that food with, you have everything that is a must have on this planet. Rest
Correct.
everything is good to have. आपके पास एक
Absolutely.
एक प्यार करने वाली फैमिली और फ्रेंड्स हैं, आपके पास एक 2 टाइम का 3 टाइम का एक डिसेंट खाना है, और आपके पास रात को सोने की जगह है, अगले दिन सुबह जाने के लिए करने के लिए कर्म है. You have every must have.
Yeah.
उसके अलावा तो सब good to have है. So whenever a fear strikes me, I take a step back and see, is it disturbing my core? अगर मेरा core नहीं disturb हो रहा, rest everything can be managed.
Correct, correct, correct.
And sometimes क्या होता है, आप अपने आप को नहीं समझा पाते because आप खुद उस situation में आप you got to raise yourself from that situation. So you
Correct.
build anchors in life. आपको अपने anchors, sometimes your anchor is your life partner, sometimes your
Correct.
anchor is your brother, your parents. In my case, you've been an anchor, right? We
Right,
were
right.
having discussions.
Correct,
So
correct.
thankfully I've been very lucky to have anchors in my life who
Correct.
helped me in these situations.
Right.
So मेरा ये मानना है कि fear के time पे देखो आपका core तो नहीं हिल रहा, as long as your core is intact,
Hmm.
rest everything can be managed. That's one.
Absolutely.
Second is have anchors who can uh, take you back to your belief system and
Hmm.
help you overcome temporary situation. Slowly
Correct.
you will come out of it, and this is how I have done.
Right. Right.
I don't know whether it's a practical way, if it can be replicated and people can use it, but
True.
this is the way
True.
I've kind of
True. True.
followed.
I think that definitely makes sense, right? It's having an anchor definitely helps. And I remember, I think I was watching a film last week. I don't remember the name, or I don't remember what movie it was. But what I liked was, oh yeah, it was Brahmastra. I remember.
आप तो
Yes.
मूवी बफ हो, सारी मूवीज देखते हो.
So Brahmastra, yeah. So in Brahmastra, the guru asks Shiva, who's Ranbir Kapoor,
Yeah,
saying, "What's your button? What's your button? वो
yeah.
क्या है जो तुमको ट्रिगर करता है? वो क्या है जो तुमको जोश देता है?" And he's like, "I don't know. I never figured it out." And he says, "You are here for a purpose. So find your button. So find that trigger." So I think anchor आप वही बोल रहे हो, right? Finding that anchor is very important there.
एंड यू राइटली यूज द वर्ड ट्रिगर. क्या चीज
Right.
है वो जो आपके लाइफ में फियर ट्रिगर करता है, क्या चीज है
क्या
जो
बोल
आपके
रहे
लाइफ
हो?
में पैशन
Absolutely.
ट्रिगर करता है, क्या चीज है जो आपके लाइफ में फितूर ट्रिगर करता है, क्या चीज है जो आपके लाइफ में
True.
बिलीफ ट्रिगर करता है. वो ट्रिगर बड़ा
True.
इंपॉर्टेंट है, उस ट्रिगर को
True.
जानना बड़ा जरूरी है. आई
True.
थिंक
True.
आई थिंक
Very
वी
true.
नो अबाउट ट्रिगर्स 4 5 6 triggers. Then we
Correct.
got a good handle on the situation. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, well
Yeah.
said. Right. So, talking about triggers, when did you realize, your life's calling? So, how did you get into, what you're doing today? How did you get there?
Serendipity. You know what happens is कई बार आप लाइफ प्लान करके चलते हो. वो there was a very beautiful movie called जाने भी दो यारो years back
Right.
हमने
Right.
देखा.
Right. 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 It's a lovely film. Yes.
उसमें एक बड़ा फनी डायलॉग था. सतीश शाह बोलता है जो सोचता है वो होता नहीं, जो होता है वो सोचने लगता है. यू रिमेम्बर वो
Right.
केक वाले सीन से मेरे
Yes.
याद
Yes. Yes. Yes.
beautiful. So I believe there are a lot of things that I planned, they never happened, and the things that happened I started accepting them and moving in the direction. तो वो है ना,
Correct.
अमिताभ बच्चन ने कभी बोला था, जो होगा, जो आपके मन का हो तो वो अच्छा, और जो ना हो तो वो और भी अच्छा, क्योंकि जो नहीं हो
Correct.
रहा है वो
Correct.
किसी और के मन का है, और जो उसके मन का है वो
Correct.
कभी खराब हो सकता है.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
I think from the very beginning, very, very beginning, my first job onwards, not first, like probably the second job onwards, I got by chance, I was either the first employee of the company or first employee of that branch or first employee in the region, whatever. तो चांस की बात है कि मुझे वो शुरू से ही ना वो कॉकटेल एक्सपीरियंस मिलता रहा.
So you're a born pioneer, I would say.
हाँ नहीं, वो मालूम ही नहीं चला मुझे. तुमको सेल्स भी करनी है, प्री सेल्स भी करनी है, एडमिन में तुमको संभालना है, वो चांस की बात, ऐसा होता रहा. आई हैड नॉट
Right.
प्लान्ड इट.
Right.
मैं तो चाहता था कि कॉलेज के बाद हीरो होंडा ज्वाइन करूं और वहीं से रिटायर करूं अपनी जिंदगी में, और गुड़गांव में रहूं. आई एम फ्रॉम गुड़गांव. आई जस्ट वांटेड
Right.
टू ज्वाइन हीरो होंडा, वेयर दोस नाइस व्हाइट कलर यूनिफॉर्म, गो टू टेक द ऑफिस बस एवरी मॉर्निंग, कम बैक इन द
Right.
इवनिंग, और रिटायर करूं. But he had some other plans. He kept sending me to one startup or the other or the other or the other. I mean, it just became sort of a destiny. And then
Correct.
slowly I realized कि मुझे मजा भी इसी में आता है. Probably with my kind of my kind of a nature. Probably I was not meant for those big companies and those. I was more meant for. So I believe that I play the role of a matchstick in life. देखो एक होता लैम्प या वो होती है, that candle which which
Correct.
which which burns and which keeps lighting the whole room and the whole world.
Absolutely.
एक होता है मैच स्टिक, वो उस कैंडल को जलाता है फिर चला जाता है बेचारा. 2 मिनट के लिए जलता है ऐसे करके, और लोग उसको ऐसे
Right.
करके बुझा देते हैं, फिर वो
Correct.
जाता है. फिर I play the role of a match stick. I what I do is I trigger a lot of people
Uh-huh.
and kickstart, and then I move on. And so probably my destiny, my guru, my God had decided this role for me. They didn't want me to play the role of a lamp, but I still play the role of a lamp in my family's life,
Correct.
and
Correct.
stuff.
Correct.
But
Correct.
for the word, I think they had decided the role of a diya salai or a matchstick for me. तो वो अपने आप ही होता गया. अक्षय honestly पहले चीजें प्लान नहीं थी, but उसके बाद जब once I realized कि that this is the path my destiny is taking me, then I
Right.
started
Right.
planning in the direction step by step by
Correct.
step by step.
Correct.
That's how it
Correct.
grew. So that is how I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
And taking your analogy of being that candle or being that matchstick for
Yeah.
enlightening people or lighting them up. Uh, so let's connect that to the startups, right? So you've helped quite a few startups raise funds. तो वही है आपका matchstick जैसा ये बनता है.
हाँ.
And so do you think the VC culture is somewhat responsible for the stress and anxiety in today's time and age? What would
And
you
fear,
have to say
and
about it?
fear, because
And
the
and
topic is
fear,
fear.
and fear, yes, yes.
Definitely,
So
definitely,
what would you want to say about this? How can
definitely.
how do people overcome that? How, especially how do the founders ensure कि जो उनका डर है वो उनके लोगों में नहीं भर रहे वो? So
देखो, I can't blame VCs, right? वो अपना
correct,
job, अपना, they are doing what they have to do, right? It's a
correct,
job that they have to fulfill.
correct,
If they
correct,
if somebody raises 100 million or 200 million as a fund and they have to return it in 7 years at a multiply, and people are waiting कि कब आप return करोगे and all, and then they know that their success ratio is not more than 5-10%. So they have to ensure that the 5-10 startups cover up for the 90% of the failure. So you can't
mm,
really blame them for being so clinical and being so pushy, because they have their own pressures, right? So
right,
unfortunately,
right,
I have a I believe कि last 20 सालों में ना world has gone insane. The amount of
mm,
money that is being available is never heard of. हम $1 trillion की कंपनी सुन रहे हैं, और मेरा ये मानना है कि जितनी पैसा अवेलेबल होता जा रहा है उतनी भूख भी बढ़ती जा रही है.
right.
उल्टा उल्टा चाहिए कि पैसा ज्यादा आ गया तो भूख मिट जानी चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होता.
नहीं हो रहा.
आप आज भी देखोगे जो आदमी सुबह से शाम रिक्शा चला रहा है ना, वो शायद रात को पेड़ के नीचे जाके सो जाएगा. जो बिलियनर आदमी है ना, उसके पैर दबा रहे होंगे 100 लोग, और उसको मखमल का सोने का तकिया होगा, वो फिर भी नहीं सोएगा. So it's
Right.
very so I have a feeling that more the money, the more the hunger.
Absolutely, absolutely.
एंड सो वो कुछ कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, जो एटलीस्ट मेरे लेवल पे तो मैं नहीं समझ पाया. कुछ तो गड़बड़ हुई है पिछले 20-30 सालों में. इतना
Right.
पैसा आने के बावजूद आज भी पॉवर्टी लेवल नहीं बढ़े हैं. दे आर स्टिल सो
Correct.
मोर देन a billion people who go hungry every night,
Right.
and then there are people who are so insanely rich they don't know what to do with that money. कितने कितने प्राइवेट जेट्स खरीदूंगा, कितने मैं
Correct.
कितनी कंट्रीज खरीद लूंगा मैं. It's like
Correct.
that. You see,
Correct. Correct.
there's I call it insane because I feel that it is insanity.
It is. It
कि
is.
मतलब हद होती है किसी चीज की, तुमको समझ ही नहीं आ रहा कि हो क्या रहा है. मतलब I want to ask a question.
Hmm.
अगर दुनिया में बाकी लोग रहेंगे ही नहीं, तो तुम सारा पैसा लेके कहाँ जाओगे? किसके ऊपर राज
Absolutely.
करने के लिए आए हो आप? I mean, what are you
Absolutely.
trying to do? Who will you rule, right? So anyway, so who will you show your money to, right? So I don't know, there's a big disparity. So having said
Correct.
that, so I think this whole thing is driving the world, and it's driving the VCs, it's driving the startups. And VC बड़ा clear होता है, उसको कोई लेना देना नहीं है कि startup क्या कर रहा है क्या नहीं कर रहा. They want to see three things: is the business scalable, is the team good, and how fast they can grow. That's it.
Correct.
उनको
Correct.
build the scale, control the market, be the. अरे भाई, बाकी लोगों ने भी जीना है, जीने दो
Exactly.
लोगों को. You
Right.
want to take all like Amazon? नहीं जी, मैं तो पूरी मार्केट कंट्रोल करूंगा. कर लो यार, बाकी लोग, I mean, you don't care, right? They don't
Correct.
care. They become
Correct.
mad, insane in the pursuit
Correct.
of money. So
Right.
having said that, तो वो फिर ऊपर से नीचे तक ड्राइव आता है. और बेचारा जो फाउंडर, द गाय who's raising money, see, he knows that he can't do it without money. Otherwise, he could have done it bootstrap. He can't do it without money. And if he has to take money, then he has to take all this. It comes as a package deal. So, unless the founder is really, really strong in and believes in what he is doing, he can't push back.
Correct.
तो मेरा ये मानना है कि 90% केसेस में तो स्ट्रेस के साथ जीना ही पड़ेगा.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
If you are really strong, you know what you're doing, where you're going, you can probably push back. Other than that, I don't see a solution to do it, honestly.
Correct. Correct. No, absolutely. I think I completely agree with you. It's all about obviously the VCs will be worried. The founder is worried because as you rightly said, he needs to return the money and he
Yeah,
needs to return it in multiples.
Otherwise, you'll be thrown
Multiple. Yeah,
out of.
absolutely, absolutely. So what matters is just having faith in not just in yourself, but even in the people who are working for you, right? They are there for a purpose. Help them connect, your purpose to their overall purpose in life, right? I think that's the only way to move forward.
And एक
right?
चीज और हुई है, the way the money is flowing ना, it's become very easily available, so everybody is trying to jump onto that bandwagon and
Correct.
do me too's. कितनी me too
Correct.
companies आती जा रही हैं, उसमें
True.
कितनी चलेगी, right?
True.
So
True.
and people, the fear grips, what if my company fails, so I
Hmm.
again it comes to fear, right? So it's all
Correct.
there.
Correct.
Mm,
Correct.
mm, mm.
So अभी fear वेयर की तो बातें काफी की, as promised. We need to get to your alter ego, Fakida. So just tell us something about, how did you come up with this name? ये कैसे हो गया? And obviously, if you could recite some of your, poems.
Honestly, अक्षय, मुझे याद नहीं मैंने फकीरा नाम कब और कैसे यूज किया. There's this song which I love since my childhood. Faqeera Chal Chala Chal, right?
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
I've not seen that movie, and Mahinder Kapoor ji is not my favorite singer. Also, my favorite singer is Rafi Saab and Kishore Da.
Right.
But somehow that song, तेरी तेरी शक्ति कमाल, तू तो लाया रे अकेला, गंगा धरती पर उतार, हिम्मत ना हार, चल चला चल फकीरा, चल चला चल. आई थिंक
क्या
सम
बात
ऑफ दैट सॉन्ग सिंस चाइल्डहुड सॉर्ट ऑफ कनेक्टेड विद मी. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता था ये गाना. एंड व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड राइटिंग इन आई स्टार्टेड राइटिंग एक्टिवली इन 2014. उससे पहले मैं थोड़ा बहुत लिखता था. कॉलेज के टाइम में आई यूज्ड टू डू थिएटर प्लेज,
है? Okay.
थोड़ा बहुत वो स्क्रिप्ट्स को रीऑर्गेनाइज करना, वो सब कर देता था मैं. आई
Very
वाज गुड
nice.
एट आई वाज वेरी गुड एट लैंग्वेजेस. हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश मुझे दोनों अच्छे
Right.
लगते थे.
Right. Right.
एंड आई वाज ऑलवेज मोर इमोशनल गाय देन अ इंजीनियर, राइट? तो मेरा शुरू से वो अपना अपना झुकाव होता है. मेरा झुकाव
Correct.
शुरू
Correct.
से इसी
Right.
तरफ था.
Right.
And as I said, I had a bit of a fituri nature from the very beginning.
Right.
I used to love reading sahitya more than the engineering books and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And even today, I read more like the management books, and rather than the hardcore books, I like to read the soft books, right?
Very
तो वो
interesting.
रहता है मेरा. तो 2014 I started writing very actively. जब हमारे कॉलेज का मेरे बैच का reunion था, that was the time I started writing very actively. And initially, if I recall, my initial poems were not with the name Faqeera. I think they were with the name Sahil. I used to write Sahil as a तकिया
Oh,
कलाम. हाँ.
nice.
तो बाद में honestly I can't recall कैसे फकीरा कहाँ पे आया, but it just struck me, and
Okay.
I said Faqeera is the name with which I want to go. And then every poem I started using Faqeera, and then 2017 I published this book called Faqeera Chal Chala Chal, sub 85
Oh,
of my
nice.
poems. That, yeah.
Wow.
And then slowly when I started writing on LinkedIn, I realized that my writing was not conforming to the LinkedIn standards, right? वो business की नहीं थी. I
Correct.
write more on life's experiences and stuff. So I felt that they were more Faqeeriyat than the leadership or business.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I put this hashtag called hashtag Chal Faqeera.
Wow.
So that's how it built up, and thankfully it connected with a lot of people. A lot of people come back and tell me that, Sunil, we like to read your posts. We enjoy what you write. You write from heart, direct dil se likhte ho. So that's how it just built up.
Very good.
देखो आज तो I'm
Good.
sharing it first time
Yeah,
around.
absolutely. Very
Faqeera,
nice.
yeah.
So that definitely is your fitur, right? Your passion.
Why that's Faqeera is my fitur. Faqeera
Fitur.
is my
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
राइट. तो एक दो आपके लफ्ज या क्या कहते हो उसको, शायरी या पोएम, कुछ हमारे लिए, हमारे लोगों के
डेफिनेटली.
लिए.
आज डर का टॉपिक है, तो फियर का टॉपिक है, उसी पे बताता हूँ.
हाँ हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली.
अच्छा, एक ये मैं शुरुआत करूंगा उससे जो मेरी खुद की लिखी हुई नहीं है. इससे किसी को डर है कि भगवान देख रहे हैं, और किसी को भरोसा है कि भगवान देख रहे हैं, राइट? वी टॉक्ड
राइट.
अबाउट
राइट.
कि डर का जो
करेक्ट.
एंटीडोट है, दैट इज
करेक्ट.
बिलीफ.
करेक्ट. करेक्ट.
किसी
करेक्ट.
को
करेक्ट.
डर है कि भगवान देख रहे हैं, किसी को भरोसा है कि भगवान देख रहे हैं.
एब्सोल्युटली.
So one poem which can summarize all the fear and all my life's learning, fearless learning, into one small poem. It is मेरे को थोड़ा पढ़ना पड़ेगा.
श्योर श्योर, गो अहेड, गो अहेड.
जब वक्त आएगा तब डरूंगा, जब वक्त आएगा तब डरूंगा, अभी से क्यों डरूं फकीरा? कयामत तो होगी कयामत के ही रोज,
Right.
See, there is going to be one day, one moment when we are going to conquer, right?
Correct. Correct.
कयामत तो होगी कयामत के ही रोज, आज से क्यों मरूं फकीरा,
Correct.
right? Why
Right.
should I die every moment
Every moment.
in anticipation of for that one moment which nobody knows
Correct.
when it is going to happen?
Absolutely.
किसी को पता
Absolutely.
नहीं है. एक अच्छा आदमी, यंग आदमी, 30 साल का आदमी जॉगिंग करते हुए चला जाता है, एंड अ पर्सन ऑन बेड कैन गो ऑन फॉर इन कोमा फॉर 10 years. सो
Absolutely.
कयामत तो होगी. सो आई जस्ट रीड इट अगेन. जब वक्त आएगा तब डरूंगा फकीरा, अभी से जब वक्त आएगा तब डरूंगा, अभी से क्यों डरूं फकीरा. कयामत तो होगी कयामत के ही रोज, आज से क्यों मरूं फकीरा. मुझे तो सिर्फ जीना आता है, अब तू ही बता मैं क्या करूं फकीरा.
क्या बात है.
So, so this is one.
Very good.
एक तो छोटी छोटी और है.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
तो when you go through lot of life changing experiences ना, तो आपको थोड़ा डर कम लगना शुरू हो जाता है.
Correct. Correct.
तो उसी पे लिखा था, मैं भीग चुका हूँ फकीरा, मुझे बरसात का डर क्या.
Right.
राइट, आई एम ऑलरेडी ड्रेंच्ड, राइट. मैं भीग
Right.
चुका हूँ फकीरा, मुझे बरसात का डर क्या, हर बात से तो गुजर चुका हूँ, और किसी बात का डर क्या. बाहर के मुखौटे काफी हैं. आई लाइक टू ट्रस्ट पीपल ऑन देयर फेस वैल्यू. ये मेरा एक सबसे बड़ा जो मेरा वीकनेस है वो ये, आई जस्ट टेक पीपल ऑन फेस वैल्यू. बाहर के मुखौटे काफी हैं, क्या फर्क पड़ता है अंदर क्या. कागज की कश्ती जज्बा है तूफानों का, तालाब क्या दरिया क्या और समंदर क्या. जब तय कर लिया चलना ही है, फूल क्या कांटे क्या और डगर क्या. So when you decide that you got to continue to walk, and you
Right.
got to continue to live this life, nothing matters.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I think lovely.
Thank you sir,
Superb.
thank you. ये डर पे था. I don't know how much time we have. एक जीवन पे एक सुनाना चाहता हूँ.
हाँ हाँ. Of course. Why not?
जीवन है अनमोल अमृत. जीवन है अनमोल. कितने लोगों को ये जिंदगी नसीब होती है, राइट?
Correct.
इंसान की जिंदगी.
Absolutely.
जीवन है अनमोल अमृत, इसकी हर बूंद पीना चाहता हूँ. जीने से पहले कैसे मर जाते हैं लोग फकीरा, मैं तो मरने के बाद भी जीना चाहता हूँ.
Wow.
So
Deep, yeah.
so have that faith, have that belief that you
Right.
want to live forever, and you want
Right.
to live with futur, and that's it. That's about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Excellent. Excellent. So I think, yeah, a clap for that, for
Thank you
your
sir.
lovely poems,
Thank you.
right?
Thank
And
you.
one last question before we, sign off, which is one message that you would want to give to all those who perhaps may be living in fear, in anxiety, and stress every day, right? वो तो सबको ही लगता है, लेकिन how do you overcome that, or at least embrace it? Overcome is a big word, but at least connect
Embrace
with
it
it. Yeah,
and learn to
embrace
live with it.
it. Right.
तो उस दो मैसेजेस हैं उसमें. पहला ये है, find a फितूर.
Ah,
अगर आपको फितूर मिल गया, तो फितूर कैन, एज आई सेड, कैन बी अ जॉब, कैन बी अ पर्पस, कैन बी अ हॉबी, कैन बी अ पर्सन, कैन बी
right.
एनीथिंग.
Correct.
फाइंड अ फितूर. अगर आपको फितूर मिल जाएगा, आपके जीवन में फियर के लिए जगह कम हो जाएगी. वो फितूर will occupy a lot of space, and automatically
Right.
fear will start pushing out फितूर. Second thing,
Correct.
I live with a philosophy called GRAFAPA.
Hmm.
GRAFAPA. ग्रा इज ग्रेटिट्यूड. ग्रेटिट्यूड फॉर व्हाट यू हैव. लाइक आई सेड, आपके पास कोर तो है ना, रोटी है, सिर पे छत है और एक फैमिली है. योर कोर इज इंटैक्ट. ग्रेटिट्यूड फॉर व्हाट यू हैव. फेथ, FA is far. Faith that things will always get better. Pa, patience. Have patience. Live with
Wow.
patience. Have gratitude, have faith, and have patience. Things will
Lovely.
settle down. Things will settle down. Things will settle
Lovely.
down. That's what I want to say.
Wow, superb, excellent. Just loved it. So it's all about, right? If you want to live fearlessly, obviously you need to embrace your fears,
Yes.
but not just that. You also need to find your fitur or your passion,
Yes.
and believe in graph apa, which is have the
Gratitude,
gratitude,
faith,
faith, and have
patience.
patience. Right? You will get where you want to get.
Yes,
Be,
absolutely.
right? Excellent. It's been lovely, talking to you, Sunil, and I'm sure all those who've been watching us, or who would watch this video, later, will definitely find these useful. बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं तो कोई एक होगा जो अभी इस वक्त पे डर से जी रहा होगा, और उसको this may act as a log, right, for him to,
Yeah. Yep.
right.
So Akshay, if this video of yours and mine can help even
Right.
one person,
Right.
our
Correct.
we've
Correct.
achieved our objective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It will. It will. It will. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
And I'll definitely tag you on that video so that people obviously know where to reach out. And I would definitely request people to follow Sunil on Facebook or on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So it's Sunil Sapra, right?
Sunil
Sunil.
Sapra, Facebook is a very personal space.
Right.
LinkedIn, a lot of people.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
open about it. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, right. It is, it is. Yeah. So thank you very much
Thank
and
you very
all
much,
the
sir.
best to you. And let's hope we get people to start walking on the path of Fitur and
Very
Gra
good,
path.
Papa.
Right.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you
Thank you
for
very much. Thank you.
lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me
Thank
this
you. Thank you,
opportunity.
all those who've been watching us and listening to this. All the very best, and see you soon. Thank you.
Take care,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.